It's just a weird thing. Like we're
Right.
going to sit here
Oh,
with a guy, and it's like we got to split the record between the Dolphins winning and Tua's performance, and it's like, hey, Tua was good. Well,
yeah.
yeah, okay, there wasn't the bomb that dazzled you, but they still had a really electric play to Jalen Waddle, threw for nearly 300 yards.
Yeah.
Thankfully, didn't pick
Dude.
off the ball, which it got a little
Dude.
dicey there at certain times. The
Dude.
biggest problem I had with him, honestly, was made the last 3 drives of the game a roller coaster because he does this thing where like he keeps trying to make a play that does not exist.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know what he's doing. Just take the sack, dude. Just like he will not
He
for the
just
life
hurls
of him.
the ball into the air.
He's just like, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. What are you doing, dude? You need to stop that. Like,
so
honestly, it's my biggest criticism of him is like this ball security thing when people are around him or draped all over him. I'm so scared of the time bomb play that he's going to make. And it feels like a recurring thing with him.
Yeah. So I realized why I was so upset about the Jay Feely thing. Now that you mentioned Archuleta, he was trying to do the Tony Romo. Like,
he's trying to predict?
Predict the plays. And after every time he goes, oh, I was wrong on that one. So just imagine hearing that 5 times a game. How about you not predict plays? You're a kicker.
It's already been taken. That real estate's already taken, Jay.
Yes.
Now tell me about the wind factor. But like, yeah, this thing with Tua with just, I felt like that last 3 drives was a lot more stressful than it had to be. And mostly it was decisions he was making.
Because every time he got close, every time they got close and he looked like he was running out of time, you were just so afraid he was just going to chuck one in the air.
Yes. And it's like he's already facing the ground. He goes, I got this. No, you don't.
And he never tries to throw it, just out of the pocket or to the line of scrimmage to get rid of the ball. He's launching it in the middle of the field.
What are you doing, dude? Just eat it. We got this. And like the thing that's crazy about it is they have these guys that we saw time again and again because he was very good on third down, that they would just take a play that like was garbage, like a little dump off to Chase Edmonds. And Edmonds was getting the first down. So I'm like, dude, just eat it and you'll take care of it the next play. Why he's trying to do this thing where he gets the ball and like a guy is literally on him like a backpack, hanging on like a baby koala. Yes. And he's like, I'm still going to make something happen. Ah! Why? Did that not drive you nuts, Marcos?
And he was throwing right, too. It's like he'd be left-handed with a guy in his face throwing right. It just didn't.
Like, I don't. Why?
What was he doing? What was he
doing? Very confusing. It was very confusing.
And then those those things look like intentional grounding. If you ask me.
Belichick was losing his mind.
I'm telling you, those things look like intentional grounding. But I'll take it.
The only thing that saved him was maybe he had a little bit of angst in his own body because he was waiting till the last minute, and a couple of times his knees were down.
Yeah, so, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's
dangerous game.
Yeah,
he had one. Yeah, that was that last drive. He nearly fumbled it, but I think his knee thankfully was down, and he had oh my god, he should have gotten picked off.
Oh, can we get on? Can we have one more conversation that needs to be had?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's opening week. Maybe it's the first Sunday night game. We couldn't get a sub for Chris Collinsworth.
Dude, what the hell? Yeah,
like
they got to call. They got to call.
If he had a COVID sticker on his head, I wouldn't have been shocked.
Dude, they got to call
Dungy. The
they got to call.
They got to call Dungy or Rodney Harrison and be like, "Yeah, you got to get a sub up in here."
Right. The only thing he didn't do was cough or blow his nose, but it was so there.
Gross. Yeah, it was very gross. I don't know what was going on there.
I mean, maybe he's coming over something. You know how when you were sick and you just coming back, huh?
You got the post-COVID?
No, just like if you have a cold and you had a fever a couple of days and now you're better, but you're just coming out of it and you kind of have like just the like remnants, where you just feeling a little beat up. But holy smokes. I mean, it literally sounded like he was doing it from his house and he had the vid. right?
That says, where was Devontae Parker? He was in that locker that Xavier Howard stuffed him into, dude.
Hey, hey, it was a slight upset that he wasn't inactive.
It was. That is his revenge game.
Revenge
His
game.
revenge game was just being active.
He got it.
Well,
That's
you know what
yeah.
his revenge game was? Damn, I got Mac Jones thrown to me. Right? Like,
Oh.
like you don't fully appreciate either the system that you're in or the offense that you're in until you go somewhere else and you're the other guy.
You think Mac Jones is really hurt?
Yeah.
I think he's
They were
faking it.
all over him.
Yeah.
All over. And guess what?
Can't really prove a back injury.
Oh, yes, you can. And here's the other thing. The other thing is that, you know, he don't have a body by Jake. So
Oh, I thought he was. I thought they said that he was, you know, the new Mac Jones.
Oh, big offseason transformation.
Big off season, dude.
oh, kind of like you do with Tyler?
Dude. No, I'm not gonna let you do that. Tyler Hero's looking jacked. He looks amazing.
No, he's not. He looks
Dude,
scary.
He looks so good.
Dude, he looks frightening in all these black leotard one pieces. What is he, a bodybuilder? He's a weightlifter?
Looks
Sumo
amazing,
wrestler?
dude. Are people today gonna be like mocking Tyreek Hill because Patrick Mahomes goes out there and he throws for 365 touchdowns? Look, hey, newsflash: Patrick Mahomes is good at football. Were you aware of this, Leroy? Did anybody say Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Did anybody down here say Patrick Mahomes
No.
wasn't good at football?
Here's the deal. Both people could have moved on
Mm-hmm.
and still be in great situations.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. It happens. It happens. Guess what? The Indianapolis Colts moved on from Peyton Manning, and he went on to win the Super Bowl. Right?
Yep. So Tom Brady.
The New England Patriots take you one. He moved on from a guy who won you 6 championships, and he went on and won another championship.
Yep.
Okay, you were happy with the decision you made. He was happy with the decision he made. Everybody moves on. Like where there's a problem is you then can't look back and say that guy sucked. Right? Just be happy for him. You moved on. That's it.
They look good. 44-21 over the Cardinals, who couldn't stop a nosebleed against them yesterday. Woof. But I mean, do you think Tyreek Hill was happy with his debut? 94 yards, 8 catches, 12 targets. He had a couple of.
There was one ball I wish they could have linked up on because he was at full cheetah speed.
Yeah.
And it kind of and the first pass of the game, I don't know who was running a corner route, but the play was designed pretty good. He was wide open.
Yeah,
and
he was wide.
Tua hit him like
a lot.
Rolled it right. But
he's always open.
That's just it. The thing I like about the offense and the weapons they have, it makes things more definitive, right? When you have a bunch of guys stretching all portions of the field, it makes a quarterback's read quicker because you see what's going to happen because they force things to happen quicker. If somebody has a deep third and Tyreek Hill's running down the field, it's definitive. You know it's deep third. You know there's one safety in the middle of the field. And so from that standpoint, you're not going to have guys playing a whole bunch of games. You know how they bring all 11 up like the Dolphins used to do this. Put 11 men on the line of scrimmage right before the snap. The safeties drop back for 20 yards. You can't do that if you're playing against Tyreek Hill because you ain't going to get back there quick enough. So I think a lot of defense, a lot of what they're doing makes the reads more definitive for Tua, but you still got to block them in front of you, right? There was a couple of,
Yeah, that's also a concern too, because it looks like Austin Jackson's hurt. Greg Little got hurt at one point. Toronto Armstead came off at one point, did go back in. So, that the offensive line depth was definitely challenged, and I think are a little bit worried about, how is that going to hold up?
Yeah. But I think if you're a team that's going to play the Dolphins, you have to look at it one or two ways. Here's the two ways you can go about it. You need to put so much pressure on him that he can't find the open guy quick enough. Or you can try to drop so many men in coverage that he can't find the open guy. And that's where the run game comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're going to do that, if they're going to, you bring Tyreek and you have Jalen and you split Gesicki out and whoever you bring for your third guy, right? If you have that offensive setup, they're going to have to, bring in nickel, maybe even dime. That's what New England does. New England will bring in 6 or 7 DBs. But now you got to hope that those guys can stop the run. And so I think that where the Dolphins go from here offensively is that you have a lot of options based on what the defense does. And all you have to do is have a game plan, what the check me's are going to be. Usually it's very simple. 6 men in the box, you run. 7 men in the box against 3 wides, with 3 wide receivers. Then you pass it. And it's that simple. It's that simple from the offensive standpoint. Everybody knows what's coming, right? Even the offense knows that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, here comes a run. You can block 6.
Here is Mike McDaniel on Tyreek Hill's Dolphins debut.
Tyreek made some plays. It's our plan is always to get him involved. Defenses can kind of dictate the terms. So you try to, this was a difficult game plan process with him in that regard, because they've over the years, he's been doing it for so long. Coach Belichick has done a ton of presentations, so you're not really sure, how many times you want Tyreek at the point of attack. There's a couple times that he was number 1. There was a couple times he was number 2, but he made a couple plays. And Tyreek's the same way. He was frustrated. There was a incompletion over the middle that he knew that Tua was throwing it on time, and he knew he should have been flatter, and he kind of faded away. He got mad at himself there. And there was a couple during the game that he was frustrated, which is what you love about him. And that's what you need from your captains. So I think each and every game we'll do our best to feature him, and unless the defense has to fully commit to take him away, which is good news for the Miami Dolphins, because we have some other playmakers, which you guys saw today. There was a lot of plays that were made and by a lot of guys, and then guys in space. And I think there was a couple third downs that the running backs really kept us on the field. So all of those things, we're just trying to involve all our players to the best of their ability. Some games they'll get a ton, some games they won't, but they'll keep working and getting better, which is the point.
Man, sounded a little like Collinsworth that first debut.
Yeah, he did. I was thinking the same thing. He's right though. He's right. Like, as a player, sometimes you have to understand that if a team is taking you out of a game, but your team is still having success, then you gotta live with that. I do understand the frustrations, because let's be clear, you don't have many opportunities during the course of a game to either be wide open, run across the middle of the field where you can use your speed, or get behind the defense. And when you do, you would like to hit a majority of those, because that's going to be the game changers right there.
Right.
When Tyreek Hill is running down the field and he has a step or two on a defender, those are the plays you have to get. Otherwise, they don't make any adjustments, because the defense looks at it as an incomplete pass.
You
got to be able to and it's a moving target, because you got to be able to adjust during the course of the game based on what they're doing to your players. I.e., it seemed like very much so that Waddle ran a play that Tyreek had run earlier that day.
I'm seeing on Dolphins Reddit, Leroy, there's video going around of Stephen Ross at the game yesterday. Isn't he banned?
Oh, now I know who started the fire.
Isn't he supposed to be banned? Now remember, he did celebrate his suspension by saying, "Cleared, innocent of all charges." I love it. But I see him yesterday, and he's there, and Stephen Ross very much standing. It's during the national anthem, and just doing his Stephen Ross thing. I thought he wasn't allowed there anymore. I thought he was banned until October. Very weird. It says Mr. Ross is suspended through October 17, 2022. During this period, he may not attend or be present at the Dolphins facility, may not represent the club at any team or NFL event, and may not attend any league meeting prior to the annual meeting in 2023, is removed from all league committees indefinitely.
Doesn't say the games.
It doesn't say the games technically. And I don't know if Hard Rock Stadium, does that count as the Dolphins facility? Because technically the facility's down the block. I don't
Across the
know.
street.
Loophole. He wasn't in the locker room, though, for the speech. That
Right.
because Chris Greer was like, this is on behalf of Mr. Ross. So he wasn't able to go there. Robert Kraft, of course, wasn't going to miss a trip to South Florida because he's got to get his trip up the turnpike after this. You know.
No, he doesn't. Because he took care of that on the way down. 'Cause remember, he was there for the whole week.
That's right. You think he got it out of the system?
Yep.
Why was Mike Tyson and Robert Kraft, why were they holding hands lovingly? What was going on there?
That was very confusing. That was very confusing. Robert Kraft hangs out with
First of
Meek
all,
Mill, Mike Tyson.
he's holding the hand of a guy that bit another human being's ear off.
That's right.
How is he not threatened by that?
I don't know. Maybe he has ayahuasca Mike Tyson there, you know? Maybe he's more subdued. I don't know. I don't know. But I was just laughing. I see this picture of Stephen Ross, or this video of Stephen Ross yesterday. He's like, you ain't suspended me. I'm going to these games. I got Tyreek Hill. I'm going to watch the cheetah. You think you're going to keep me from watching the cheetah? You ain't keeping me from watching the cheetah. Do you think that Stephen Ross is the penguin dance?
Yes, absolutely.
I do too.
I see him dancing like Mac Brown.
I love the penguin dance. It's my favorite thing with the Dolphins right now. Anytime he scores a touchdown. And by the way, I'm really pissed they cut away from him during the game. Like, get your game right, CBS. You get on Jalen Waddle so we can see that penguin dance. Don't screw that up.
Penguin dance.
No, they no. They went to the fans' penguin dance. First you go to Waddle, then you go to the fatties in the crowd doing the dance.
Everybody was doing it. It was the craziest thing.
It was a delight. It really was. And then he waddled away, waddle, to the very next day.
No, you're ruining it. You're ruining the moment.
Sorry. Speaking of the moment, Mike McDaniel got his first win. Let's hear from the Dolphins head coach reflecting on it after the game at the press conference podium.
I'll do the latter because that's the one I can retain. It was a very, very cool moment. Against my wishes, they just showered me in Gatorade and made it about me, which I know for a fact it's not. But the team celebrating together and just being happy for the direction that we're going in. That's why you get into team sports. I can also tell it was a good excitement and celebration because it wasn't like a satisfied celebration. They were happy that we got it done. I think a lot of guys feel like the Miami Dolphins fan base and the organization deserve to win, but there was a lot of frustration, including me, on things that, in the game that we really left out there. So that was pretty cool. When the clock hit zero, I only have a couple reps, so I was most concerned with finding Coach Belichick and expeditiously going over there to shake his hand, and then trying to figure out really what I want to say to the guys. It's more of, okay, what's the next step in the job than anything else. It's maybe with friends and family, I'll take 15 minutes to appreciate it, but that's not why I'm here. Is to bask or cheer.
You bask.
I'm here to help lead a team of people, and we got game 2 next week on the road against a team that's very hard to play at. So that'll be our concern. Other than that, I'm very happy for the team overall because they've put in the work. It's really since April, and even before that, the whole organization has really worked in one direction, and you'd like to see that get rewarded.
That's right, dude. It's like what Miley Cyrus says, dude. It's the climb.
Oh my goodness, stop it. What are you doing? -1.
Why?
-1.
That's an egregious judgment.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you know what? Here's the problem with Tobin. If you let one slide for the next hour and 10 minutes, you know what that sounds like, Leroy? Marcos, you know what that's like? It's like, no. So I'm squashing it now. Squashing it.
Speaking of squashing, unsung hero from the game, who is becoming one of my favorites, is Dolphins defensive lineman Zach Sealer. He's a moose.
Yes, he is.
Where's Zach Sealer? Oh, he's just getting a tackle for a loss of 2 yards. That's what he's doing.
Right.
Just showing up out of nowhere. And he's a behemoth. He used to live in an RV. And I really feel like we're missing an opportunity here for Zach Sealer to be a spokesperson. Okay. And what I feel
I thought I said no.
No. Hear me out on this. I feel like we're missing an opportunity here for a couple of things. Zach Sealer needs to be a local spokesperson for a couple of things. Either a plumbing service, okay, because he's Zach Sealer, he'll plug it up, or he needs to have his own version of Flex Seal, which is Flex Sealer, which will plug up all your leaks. That's what he does. Like, Zach Sealer needs to go there, and I need to see him on local commercials between fishing shows, and I need Zach Sealer to be doing advertisements for either his own product, Flex Sealer, or some local plumbing service needs to hire him as a spokesperson.
Infomercials? You want this guy doing
Yes.
infomercials?
Like, I want Zach Sealer sitting there. He's like, you got leaks? Sealer it up.
Oh, God. Have you even heard him talk before? I've never heard his voice.
He's not very talkative.
Oh, okay.
But I know if you give a guy a couple of bullet points, I think you got some. And here's another thing about Zach Sealer you don't know. Sneaky handsome. Sneaky handsome for a big defensive lineman, a mauler. He's kind of got like a Max Strus thing going on there, but girthier. Probably the wrong term I shouldn't have used. The point is, dude, Leroy, stop looking like that. Sealer it up.
Because
Sneaky handsome, huh?
Because you don't stop.
What do you mean,
Right.
dude?
You just plowed through the girth thing and tried to act like we can just unhear that, right? Like, no, you don't stop.
I'm
That's why I
telling you,
said
dude,
no.
it's a missed opportunity right now if Zach Sealer is not doing commercials for somebody's plumbing service.
He has the personality of a grapefruit, though.
We don't know that. We don't
Yes.
know. Maybe we just need to nurture it. I mean, he did live in an RV for many years. What do you think it's like when him and Von Ginkel get out in the Everglades?
One has a fishing pole and one's in swim trunks so he could jump in and wrestle an alligator.
Yeah, that's kind of what I pictured too. Somewhere Birdman Anderson's hanging out. They just call it the crazy ass white guys.
So like, they go into Everglades and the Gators run.
Big Thor saying take another point away. No way, dude.
Yes.
Zach Sealer?
Yes.
Sealer it up?
Yes.
His
Yes.
own version of Flex Seal. He's got
Yes.
his own product to plug up leaks, dude.
Yes.
You are nuts. This guy could be fixing PVC pipe.
Huh.
Plug it up. Sealer it on up.
Oh, you got me thinking. I wonder if the crew is here.
Dude, imagine you're watching TV, right? You're watching a Michigan game, right? And all of a sudden it goes, hey, I'm pro defensive lineman Zach Sealer from your Miami Dolphins. You got leaks, not with old Sealer in the middle. Sealer it on up. This needs to happen, dude.
You're not going to let this go, are you? You refuse to let it go.
It's South that Sealer gave Mac Jones a kiss from a rose.
Point for Twitcher.
See what you start?
What? Let's hear from Tua Tagovailoa after the game.
What are you doing, Marcos? That is not. What are you?
Just imagining. Just sorry, I apologize.
So
I thought that was awesome.
Show?
It was awesome to see the team come together under Mike McDaniel. You know, that's his first win as a head coach for the Miami Dolphins. So it's something special. And he's always said that he wanted to come here and create something special. And it's just the beginning.
Tua loves him. Tua loves him a lot.
Well, but based on what happened to him the last 2 years, it could have pretty much been anybody.
Hey, how about Tua? Tua, get in here and break us down, okay? Get in and break us down. All right, let's go. Everybody in. Family. I love you guys, man. Good win. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
I love you too.
See, this is why you can't.
What?
You can't send sound to you.
What do you mean?
Let Marcos go through and decide what's the because you listen to sound and these are the comments we get. I love you too, Tua.
I do. I love that.
What are you doing?
Who doesn't love that? You didn't get the goosies from that? What the hell's wrong with you? J-Fix throwing up the Al Golden face palm on Twitch.
You need
didn't get the goosies from that? Are you telling me right now you are gooseless from that sound?
Yes.
No, it was wonderful, but I'm just trying to give the reactions that Leroy is portraying to you.
His reactions is I'm a jackass. I know what his reactions are.
No, we need to put up that picture of him and Morbius because you. Oh my goodness!
I'm at a loss for words. That was great.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Yes, it looks just like him. It's like, but here's the worst part. How much TV is this man watching that he picked up on that?
He's Dade South is very noted. He's got good details on everything.
He does.
You know, he's got a keen eye. A keen eye.
Could you imagine watching Morbius and go, what? Wait.
That looks familiar.
That look. Bang! Come here! It looks like Tobin. With a too big suit on. It looks just like that Pat Riley suit that you sweated in. So,
is it true that Flex Seal is headquartered in Weston?
Oh, let's find out.
Somebody get Zach Sealer over there. We are missing an opportunity here. Get him on over there. I want to see the commercial.
This is true.
Get Zach Sealer on that infomercial. Sealer it on up.
Didn't you have something to tell us about a commercial?
That's it.
That's what I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Where have you been?
Where have you been? Were you here last segment?
You know what? I was too busy trying to recover from your girth comments, okay?
Yeah, true.
That was the same thing.
Yeah, I was too busy trying to recover from it.
What about this as a tagline? Seal or no seal?
Wait. Marcos.
Yeah.
You wouldn't agree that when you see
He's
Zach
still
Sealer's
going?
eyes, he looks like a girthier Max Strus.
You're right about sneaky handsome.
Right?
Something about his eyes.
Something about his eyes, dude.
I don't know, man. Are they blue? I don't even know.
They're like honeysuckle.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
First of all, -1. Honeysuckle should never be used in a sentence on this show.
I just saw your name.
Yeah, that's actually currently on Twitch. Tobin's name is Mike McDaniel has huge balls.
When did you change it? 2 seconds ago.
I changed it halfway through the show from my name was Mac Jones is faking it to Mike McDaniel.
No, you changed it this segment because
Mac
I was
Jones.
not.
Mac Jones is faking it? Oh.
Oh, my back. Oh,
Dude.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
I know a
how would you
faker when
like-
I see one.
Wait, how would you like to be the Dallas Cowboys and you paid your quarterback $200 million and he can't never finish the season?
That's tough. Yeah, he is Mr. 4-6.
And is his
Oh,
throw,
dude, how about
his
how
throwing
about,
hand?
I know. That's
So it's gonna be longer than that.
little Jimmy G. Little Jimmy G in Dallas.
See, the hard part about all this is, how do you pitch to your team the importance of working from April to now, and then bring in another guy and expect to have success?
Dude, it's Jerry Jones. He doesn't think like that. He's a wheeler and dealer. We're going to bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll make it worth their McCarthy.
Especially when you get him for cheap, right? Because they already cut his salary to $6.5 million, making it more appealing.